Welcome back to the World Tour Wednesdays here at the Backer Breakdown, where today we are checking out music from Mongolia. And we've been checking out 5 songs today, assuming that none of them get removed for copyright reasons. We don't know until we upload them. I've been checking out 3 songs, trying to get a bit of variation. Checked out a song from a band called Sold, first of all, which was kind of like a metal-y, emo-y, hard rocky, mixed with traditional Mongolian folky type of song. Then we had, I think it was Sel Moon, I don't know how to pronounce her name, which was like a cool chilled out pop song. And finally we're finishing with, by the way, I should point out I've been getting all of my suggestions for this one. Usually we get them from the comments, but I don't think too many people knew too much Mongolian music other than the Who band, which James has been checking out 2 songs by them. But I've been checking out a lot of my stuff by looking at internet recommendations. And the last one I got was a video which just says, I don't know if this is an artist name, but it just says Modern Mongolian Music Sandy Desert is the name of the song, seemingly. So I don't know if Modern Mongolian Music is actually the name of the group, or if that's just a sort of generic description and this is an artist who perhaps don't have a name or something. But from what I can see from the thumbnail at very least, it appears to be 3 women who are in the thumbnail who are playing like an instrument which is, I've heard about this, it's a Mongolian instrument which, if you know Japanese instruments, so you might know the shamisen, and the Chinese have an original version of this as well. And sort of every country has a version of this sort of banjo-like instrument. The Mongolian one's much longer, but a very similar theory. So you kind of get that sort of twangy, banjo-y sound, which can be so nice and so expressive in folk music, and I'm so glad that every country kind of has a version of this. But as it's quite long, you kind of have more range on it, so I'm really interested to see how this sounds. I'm not particularly familiar with the sound of this instrument, although, like I say, I can kind of deduce what it's going to sound like roughly. So yeah, modern Mongolian music, Sandy Desert. Not 100% sure what to expect from this. It's going to be modern, although it looks like it's very old from the thumbnail. I don't know, I don't usually do my research, I just wait to see what you guys say in the comments. Here we go, let's talk and let's find out and talk afterwards. And get. I love that sound. Yeah, it sounds like a shamisen, but yeah, in a Mongolian way. Well, I can't read Mongolian, so I don't know if that confirms what I said about the band name. Okay, that's not what I expected. It kind of sounds like a smooth, chilled out karaoke backing, like it was from an early 80s like lounge bar or something. Oh, that sounds lovely. I'm really glad that they've put it front and center in the mix. Even if it does sound like they're playing along to a karaoke backing, it's nice that you can really hear they're playing. Turn this up a bit. This video has got a slightly weirdly 80s karaoke video quality to it as well. There's this sort of air of everything behind the instruments is very functional, and the video is very functional as well. Like, they're just kind of there because they have to be there, but they do provide a nice sort of smooth, slightly tacky backing. Oh, breakdown. Looking forward to seeing where this goes. That's really nice. That's really nice and smooth. And then back in. Beautifully written riffs. I mean, it's nice how it sort of moves along like they're playing a melody, but it's got all the qualities of a melody and a riff together. It's wonderful. Just wonderful how they've written it. Oh my god. Oh, I think that might be the name. Like, it said something like Wath Free. I'm going to have to check that out before I post this video. Anyway, yeah, that was quite different from what I would have expected, but I really kind of enjoyed that in a strange way. So let's break down a few points. I'll start with the things I said initially and the things that struck me first of all, and try and explain them a little bit better. I mean, I guess it doesn't take too much of a genius to work out that the whole sound of that, the backing was very sort of this compressed layer. It just sounded like there was a backing track. It almost sounded like they'd gone to karaoke and just played a backing and then recorded themselves over the top and said that was our CD. But it kind of strangely worked, because like I say, that put all the focus on their playing, so that they were the centre. I know sometimes you get these instrumental groups, and then when the instrumental groups plays, they have a backing like band or something, and they just kind of get absorbed into the band, and you wonder, well, okay, who actually is the artist here? So I guess in a way, putting them front and centre in the mix was actually a really nice idea, and it did work because just the whole sound of them all playing together. You know, sometimes they were breaking off and going in slightly different directions, but as a general, it seems to be playing most of the same stuff together. And it had a thickness when you hear all of them. They're playing quite a sharp instrument, the sort of instrument where, because it's got like a very ding, been and gone sound to each note. Like, ding, that's what I was saying. Ding. the note can kind of get lost in the mix. So when you've got something like that where all three of them are playing together, it gives a thickness to the sound without changing the actual sound of the instrument. The backing, like I said, was very functional. It wasn't actually bad. I mean, okay, it went into a slightly elevator music karaoke backing realm, but it was actually quite good. If you listen to the beat was sort of nicely played, and along with the bass line that was kind of giving it a bit of a funky element, they moved quite well. And so the whole song together, although it might come across a bit strangely, might come across a little bit like the mix was a little bit tacky and a bit karaoke-like, if you look at it on paper, actually it's quite a nice little arrangement they've got going on there. The melody itself, which is effectively what this is really pointing towards, that melody and the whole way it moves and it goes through sort of riffs and things, that was really beautiful. Like I said, it was very well written, and it was very engaging, it was very atmospheric as well. I'm not the most familiar person with Mongolian folk music anyway, but assuming that this is a good representation of that, then I think it is very evocative of, you know, a lot of things. I think this sort of thing that would really make you think of Mongolia and, you know, sort of have a real national identity to it. And now I personally really enjoyed that on a lot of levels. I thought the video was kind of, I gotta say it again, it was almost like they're playing towards a stereotype, because the video looked like one of those, if you've ever been to Japanese karaoke, I don't know if it's the same for karaoke in other countries, but if you go to Japanese karaoke, when you sing the song, you have the words appearing, but behind it there's usually a video. Now, if you're lucky and it's a really famous song, it'll be the actual music video for the song, but a lot of the time it's a really badly acted video of people doing generic things that kind of fits the mood of the song, and it just looks like some really badly made university short film project. And that's kind of how the way this looked. It looked like the music video was shot by, they got local university, got some students and took them out, and we got a couple of effects, we're going to use this effect and that effect, and it did kind of look a bit weirdly cheesy, but it was fun at the same time. You know, I always say this, you know, when something's cheesy or tacky, I don't necessarily think those words are 100% bad, because in context they can be quite good. If you've got an artist like this who are clearly working on a low budget, then sometimes to do something a little bit like that adds a bit of charm to it, you know, rather than just being sort of cold and saying, well, we don't have the money, so we're just going to do a boring video of us standing in a room and someone can walk around us with a camera. It's like, you know, doing something a little bit, you know, cheesy actually adds a bit of charm and identity to it. So to me, I wouldn't say it's a bad thing, but it is quite kind of obvious that they had these really sort of strange, dodgy effects and things going on. And, you know, well, to be honest, you can't complain about a video where, at least in my completely subjective opinion, at least one member of that group is really distracting distractingly good looking. And I was like, that's always going to be a good video on that level. But that is just me speaking from all of the completely irrelevant non-musical opinions I have. So yeah. Long story short, this song's really thrown me for a six. It was really strange. It was not what I expected at all. But yeah, I enjoyed that. Would I listen to it again? Do you know what? I think I probably would, actually. I think it's just got such a nice atmosphere. And like I say, when you're looking for songs on the World Tour Wednesdays, when we're looking for songs from different cultures, I think one of the main things we're looking for, apart from obviously the usual musical qualities, we're looking for something that has a quality where you'd listen to it because it has that national identity. I don't mean that necessarily in sort of a national pride way, but it has a sort of sound that you could only really get from that country. And although, okay, yeah, I know that the sound of the instrument you can get from lots of countries, because lots of countries have a very similar sounding version of that instrument as well. It's a real cultural crossover. The way it's played, the riff, the way it's written, and the way it's sort of used is something where, like I say, not being particularly familiar with Mongolian cultural music, folk music, assuming that's a good representation of that, then I would say that the uniqueness of this song and the reason why I'd listen to it is therefore stemming from a very Mongolian folk music place. So yeah, I think that has got a unique sound to it, which would mean that if I was just in the mood for something kind of chilled out and, you know, kind of nice, but, you know, a bit atmospheric, you know, not something too numbing, then that would be really good. I kind of like that. It's a good little sort of a backing piece of music to play. Yeah, great stuff. So I think that was a nice one to end it on. Like I say, hopefully if none of our songs get copyright taken down, then you'll see there's 5 songs in our World Tour Wednesday today from Mongolia. But thank you so much for joining us. I hope everything's been really good. We've covered, James has covered 2 songs from the Who band. I've covered songs from Suld, the sort of hard rock Mongolian folk band. We've had some pop music, and now something which is more just sort of old school folk pop, I guess you could say. So anyway, been a really good adventure. I've actually really enjoyed doing these Mongolian songs. We will be moving on from Mongolia next week, but as I say, we're more than willing to go back and recap any artists that we feel need more development. So get in there, get in the comments, tell us if there's something we really need to listen to more of, if you've got some suggestions, if you've got some links, comments, say your opinions. Maybe you know the artists, maybe you don't. Tell us more if there's anything that we've misunderstood in our quick sort of tourist view through the country. By all means, feel free to check out more of our music from here in Japan that we like to review. We've done so many videos now, but least of all I can really say is thank you so much for watching, and you're more than welcome to like, subscribe, like I say, comment, press the thumbs down if you want to as well. But definitely, if you press the thumbs down, you should definitely comment and tell us why. But for now, from Japan, where we record these World Tour Wednesdays, thank you so much, and ciao ciao.